Oh man, everything's tangled. Oh, dang, everything's tangled. Alright, I think I gotta go like these. Alright, y'all. What up? Yo, I've been thinking about this for a really long time. I think like low key like a good 2 weeks. And I spent longer trying to figure this one out, this idea out, because I just wanted to I really wanted to understand it. I wanted to understand what it was that I was trying to talk about or discuss. Um, I was having a whole bunch of conversations, uh, just doing a lot of thinking to figure this one out. But basically, I think this is gonna be a good one, low key. I think this is gonna be a good one. This one is supposed to be about the fact that sometimes in life you you low key have to you gotta risk it for the biscuit, man. You gotta risk it for the biscuit. You gotta risk being wrong. You gotta risk failure. You gotta risk messing up. And so that's the thing I've been thinking about a lot for these past 2 weeks. It started as like a, it started more so as like a dang self trust, building that self trust and doing things that are difficult, doing things that are scary, and just allowing your brain to see that, allowing yourself to see you doing difficult things and actually achieving difficult things, even if you don't actually achieve it, but like being able to allow your subconscious and your unconscious mind to see yourself do hard things. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a great thing for yourself to see, because that's how you start to develop that self-trust in yourself. You see yourself do the hard things, like ask yourself difficult questions and all that, and you just explore. You explore and you actually try to figure out, you know, what you're doing and what you got going on. But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of just read through my notes. I have my journal right here. I wish you guys could see that, because that would low key be aesthetic. But I got my journal right here, and that would have been bad. Y'all, wire headphones. It's like, we're in the future with AirPods and stuff and wireless headphones. But low key, like the wire headphones be swag. The wire headphones be swag until you freaking have them all tangled up, until you're trying to scramble in your pocket and you take them out and they're all jumbled up and you're like taking like 30 seconds to a minute, at least for me, because sometimes my wire headphones get really really tangled. And yeah, bro, I understand the convenience of wireless headphones, but at the end of the day, the wire headphones just has more swag to it, I feel. Look at these pimples, y'all. Oh shoot, I got these two pimples on me. It's PA cookout weekend. Um, big weekend. Big weekend for certain group of people. And I got these two pimples, but it's cool. I'ma still be out there. Anyways. All right. So the question I've been kind of wondering to myself is, like, how can how can I acknowledge my thoughts and move on if there's just so many thoughts at once? So sometimes my brain will like just shoot out random thoughts over and over. Boom, 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 boom. What am I gonna do today? Oh my gosh, I have work to do. I got this big project at work. I don't know if I'm gonna get it done. I have this exam that I've been studying for, but I'm kind of scared. I don't know if I'm gonna do well. Blah blah. Who's that girl? Oh, does she mess with me or not? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know about y'all, but me personally, that's just how my brain works sometimes. Um, Sometimes I'm just an overthinker. I think a lot. And you know, there are those times where overthinking can kind of inhibit my inhibit me like taking action and actually like making decisions for myself and seeing the results of those decisions. I think so much that I kind of allow it to keep me from doing things, taking action. Especially recently lately, like a lot of things, got a lot of things, trying to figure out a lot of things, basically. But yeah, so that's kind of been the question I've been contemplating on for the past 2 weeks. And randomly, not randomly, because like I said, I've been thinking, having conversations. Actually, in the beginning stage, I wasn't having conversations about this topic. I was really just trying to, just let the idea, the question bounce around in my head and see what I come up with. But what I realize is that the things you think about or the things you put your attention towards, like you have the choice. You have the choice to think about those things. Like you have you get to choose what you focus on. You do. Because I don't know, like the other day I was I was kind of I was kind of bummed out. I'm not really going to get too specific, but I was kind of bummed out, and I just went for a walk, um and then I went for a run. Like I was walking, I was like, I turned back, I was like, bro, I could just go for a run. So I went for a run, and on this run, I'm not really thinking too much. I'm just running, letting my body do what it does. But after the run, it kind of had just hit me that sometimes when you just shift your environment or shift like where you're at in the setting and everything, it kind of makes it so that it's easier to not think of certain things. It's easier to not have those thoughts that kind of cause you to overthink, because you start to move your body. And I'm not even just talking about moving your body, but I just mean in general. Like the fact that I was able to go for a run and kind of calm my mind down and not really think about anything that I was thinking about prior to that run, it was just like, wait a minute. That's kind of where I had the realization. Wait a minute. I can actually choose what I think about in a way. In a way. Obviously, you have those thoughts that kind of just like go through your mind, but I kind of get to choose what I think about, what I put my attention towards. Think about it. Like, if I'm always focusing on whether or not I'm going to fail or do bad at something, like, let's say I had a test, and the only thing I thought about for the test is the fact that, oh my gosh, like, what if I fail? Like, I don't know if I actually know everything. Oh my gosh. Like, if I just keep thinking that, then I'm spending all that time worrying when honestly I could just shift my perspective to shift my perspective in a way that's like, okay, I don't have to think about whether or not I'm going to fail. I could just go study. I could just go study and, take action. I don't have to spend the time overthinking on whether or not I'm actually going to pass that exam. I could just shift my thinking to the fact that I could shift my mindset in a way that's like, okay, maybe I don't know whether or not I'm going to pass, but I do know that I can use the time I have right now to study and take action. Don't let my overthinking like keep me from taking action. And studying, I would say 9 times out of 10, but sometimes we slip, y'all. But I'll say 7 times out of 10. Studying 7 times out of 10 is gonna help me get a good grade on that exam. So I didn't have to spend all that time overthinking. I could just make a decision, take action, and see where that takes me. And yeah. So with that, I was saying that I kind of realized that action often changes emotion. This is what I wrote, guys. This is in my journal. But action often changes emotion more reliably than waiting for emotion to change before acting. And along with that, I kind of want to also say, not kind of, I also want to talk about this other quote. It's not a quote, but my mentor at work, he would always say, like, how when you're overthinking and you're just trying to figure out what the right answer is and everything like that, your output is going to be 0%. You know? It's going to be 0%. But if you make a decision, it at least increases your odds of, I don't know, like achieving something or getting results to at least 50-50. And I don't, that's me not getting into specifics and everything like that. Like, I mean, like, kind of black and white, like, yes or no kind of deal, you know? Like, overthinking, if you have a goal, overthinking and spending so much time just contemplating what's going to happen or what might happen, it's not going to get you any results. You're going to be seeing 0% results. Whereas if at least you take action, you increase your odds of seeing some type of result. It might not be the result you want, but you still increase those odds, you know? I'm sure you guys understand that. But yeah. So then I kind of get into this idea of how like anxiety causes people to, I feel like anxiety causes people to sort of run away from like the hard or the difficult, scary emotions that they have. Like, it's in a sense that like we think and we get trapped in this loop of overthinking. It almost feels like a prison. It almost feels like torture. You're torturing yourself with all these thoughts, and these negative thoughts at that, low key. So, like, low key, these negative thoughts. And I feel like sometimes people kind of start to use that as like a crutch. You know what I mean? Like, they'd rather overthink and worry and feel bad rather than taking action, because I feel like it really is because they are scared of what might happen if they actually made a decision and took action. They're scared of what could come. They're scared of the uncertainty. And I just think that we all have to just get past that uncomfortable feeling of not knowing. Because at the end of the day, as humans, there's a dog behind me. Oh my gosh. Oh, he looks so cool. Okay. At the end of the day, as people, we're not like born knowing everything. And even while we're living, I'm freaking 20 years old. I still don't know everything. Well, obviously I don't know anything. I'm freaking 20 years old. I'm 20 years old. I don't know everything, y'all. I really don't. And from what I hear from adults, it that continues. That continues. We're never going to know everything. So rather than fighting that or fighting the fact that we don't know everything, we can sort of just, accept it and live our lives. Take what we do know and kind of start to enjoy the process of learning and finding out more. Probably not going to learn everything, but like give yourself a chance to start to like learn more. But yes. So listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. I think it was right here, because this is kind of like the big point I've been trying to make. Wait, no, I don't even want to say the big point yet. Like, we'll save that. We're going to save that. Okay, so another thing I wrote. Sometimes the very thing that is otherwise deemed healthy is actually a coping mechanism for our difficult emotions. And I say that, and basically what that means is like, we have certain habits and things that distract ourselves from feeling certain emotions and actually doing some thinking and like taking action and everything like that. But that's only cool. Like, let's take going to the gym. Going to the gym is cool. It's a great, healthy coping mechanism, or just to transform your energy into physical movement. That's cool. But then I feel like it's important to also like do that in tandem with asking yourself those hard questions. And I don't mean like in an overthinking way. I mean like just like a curious way. I think if we replaced if we replaced worry and like uncertainty with curiosity instead, if we approach those situations with a curious mindset, I feel like it almost kind of makes it become more of a game rather than like a challenge, or not challenge. It just makes it a little less scary to take action, because now I'm not thinking what if. Now I'm not thinking what if. I'm thinking like, what if, like, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if I took action. Let's see what's gonna happen if I decide to, I don't know, study, or I don't know, like, what happens if I send that job application out? What happens if I cold call, cold email this CEO or this business owner with a couple ideas? Like, what happens if I just take action? Like, that curiosity, the curiosity really is what drives me actually in trying to take action. Like, it's not always easy, but sometimes you really just have to not think about it and just do it. But yeah. Ooh, y'all. Whoa. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Well, okay. Sometimes when you throw yourself in the deep end, you show that you trust that your mind, body, and spirit will show up and respond in the way that you need it to in order to achieve your goals. That's another thing. Like, when you kind of just stop overthinking everything and just put yourself in the situation, put yourself in the uncomfortable situation, it's kind of you forcing yourself to put trust in yourself. You putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations, those uncertain situations, is actually like you starting to try to build that evidence of, hey, I can do hard things. Like I was saying earlier, when you do that stuff, like, you show your brain you can do things, you can do hard things. And when you show that you could do hard things, it's a lot easier to freaking take action. That's how you build confidence. Oh my gosh, I was about to say confidence. Anyways. But yeah, so now let me just get to sort of my main point. My anxiety isn't just a thinking problem, it's often an action problem. When I neglect my own needs, my mind fills the empty space with worry, fantasy, and rumination. Rumination is basically when you overthink, and you're overthinking in like a negative way, like in an unproductive way. But the more consistently I take care of myself and act on what I need, not just what I feel like, the less power those thoughts have, because I'm building a life that deserves my attention. So that's kind of the point, or the main point I've been trying to make, is that action will beat overthinking any day. It will. Action will get you those results. Action will, it'll it'll show you what could have happened or what could happen. You don't have to keep guessing. You don't have to keep overthinking. What if this, what if that? You don't got to keep doing that if you take action. The actions will give you the answers that you're looking for. Might not be the answer that you want, but you're going to get the answer. You're going to get an answer regardless, but you got to do something about it. You got to take action. Even like my grandma, she used to talk about, like, we used to be cleaning our room at like, I don't know, 1 in the morning. I have a Caribbean grandma. Used to be cleaning our room at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, bro. And at the end of all that, she'd be like, oh, like, don't you feel better? Don't you feel better that your room is clean? I'm a little kid, and I'm like, what do you mean, do I feel better? What the heck? It's 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I'm tired. Yes, my room is clean, but I just want to play. I'm a little kid. But, yeah, bro, like, I didn't understand it as a kid, but I feel like I understand it now. She was more so just trying to teach me that, like, she was trying to teach me, like, the importance. Oh my gosh, they blasting music in the back. This old head. Anyways, I don't even know if you all were able to hear that. But yeah, it wasn't the fact that she was teaching me, oh, clean your room, clean your room, clean your room. Well, she was. But at the same time, I feel like she was just trying to show me that, like, it's important to develop a relationship with yourself. It's important to take action. It's important to show yourself that you can do difficult things, because that's how you build self-trust. And when you build self-trust, you develop confidence. When you develop confidence, you it's just an overall better experience, because now you trust yourself to do even harder things. But I'm not gonna lie, like that's really all I had, y'all. I'm really glad and thankful that I was able to finally like figure that out, because for me personally, I think that me taking on this mindset, or me emphasizing this mindset and making it a point to do these things and take action and make decisions, like I think it's gonna be really good for me, because like I was saying, sometimes I do overthink. Sometimes I don't have the answers, but I feel like if I at least just make a decision and take action, like it'll help to alleviate a lot of the overthinking that I do, a lot of the time being spent thinking. And I'm excited about that. I feel like this is gonna be a new thing for me, or not a new thing, because I'm not gonna lie, I do that anyway. But like lately, I haven't been doing that. So this is sort of like a reminder to myself that I need to take action. I need to just do the things, act on my thoughts, act on the things that I want to do, show up for myself. And I'm saying all this, and I hope that like you guys can see this and think the same thing. Like I hope you guys can take this and kind of, play around with the idea, experiment for yourself, see for yourself, like go make a decision, go take action, act on the things you think about, and see what happens. See how you feel afterwards. I would encourage everybody to do that. Um, but yeah, I hope that helped somebody, because it helped me. Like the passion I felt when I finally feel like I started to understand this idea, it was really cool. So I hope you guys get to feel the same thing. I don't know if y'all can hear the birds. Yo, wait, I don't know if y'all can hear the birds and little kids playing. It sounds like summer out here. And I hear like the insects too. Did y'all just hear that fly just went by me? Anyways, but yeah, that's really all I had to say, y'all. Um, Hope this helps somebody. Later, y'all.